Hi everybody, it's Abigail Ockwell here and welcome back to another WIP and Chat. Now, on the day of recording this, I've literally just put out my other WIP and Chat for this week. So, by the time you get this week, you're getting a double WIP and Chat from me, basically, this week. Yeah, I apologize if you hear a little bit of a noise. I'm currently in Rachel's Twitch stream as I am recording this. Because I want to be, like I say, I'm still on annual leave, and I rarely go into Rachel's Twitch streams, so therefore, yeah, I will be, so yeah, therefore, I am just gonna have I've got my headphones in, so yeah, if you hear sort of any other rumblings apart from my voice, that is why. I really hope you enjoyed last week's video and like the little quiz that I did. I certainly had a lot of fun making it. I wanted to try to get it up before I went on my big trip this week, which I will reveal in a bit of what my big trip was this week. I went up to London this week, and I wanted to try to get it out before I went up to London, but unfortunately I didn't get it completely edited in time, so therefore I managed to get it up this afternoon. So yeah, hopefully I will not get a WIP and Chat up this late again. Yeah, I certainly felt the pressure this week. I don't know why. It's like I always feel, I don't know why, it's kind of like I rush myself sometimes. I just feel like, that, the fact that I have like 60 subscribers, I'm like, that's incredible for me. The fact that even a few people watch, I'm like, I'm incredibly grateful. I'm really grateful to anyone who clicks on a video and watches, and anyone who, decides to subscribe. That really helps. So, yeah. This week, it has been a fairly sort of quiet week. I'll start on my weekend because this weekend, obviously, the new Jurassic World came out. I still haven't seen it. So if anybody watching this video has seen the new Jurassic World movie, no spoilers, please. I think I'm probably going to go and see it tomorrow, I think, because, yeah. Originally Josh was like, yeah, let's go see it this afternoon, and I was like, well, I need to record a WIP and Chat, and also we're going out later this evening, and I've had 2 full-on days up in London as well, so I kind of was like, I really don't want to go have like a really long day out, as it were. So yeah, I had to go into town for a few bits, but that was really it. But no, so this weekend, it was okay. It wasn't that bad working opening weekend of Jurassic World. On the Friday I was doing my admin stuff. I got all our compliance stuff, and I thought, oh my gosh, because I was away the previous week, excuse me, stay hydrated, people, it is boiling. I am feeling like a stuck pig at the moment. That is how hot it is. It is one of the hot, like, it is, this is probably going to be one of those things that turns out to be the hottest June on record, because it is boiling over here in the United Kingdom. But no, so Friday, yeah, I was doing all my compliance stuff that I normally do at the cinema. So I will say it again quickly. I work for a very well-known cinema chain in the UK. Yeah, I was just like, whew, I was just sweating like anything at the moment, but no, so Friday, it was really, really, really hot again. Sorry, I'm just going to take my headphones out briefly. Can't actually hear anything, but that's okay. That'll probably be nice because it won't interrupt my, sorry, I bumped you there, train of thought. Yeah, Friday was a very calm, very relaxing day in the office. I mean, it's literally me and Ben, we were having the bloody aircon on all day because it was so hot. And, you know, in that place, in the office, there are no windows, so we can't open a window. Because above us is our massive IMAX screen, and then we've also got screen 4 above us as well. So half the office has part of the IMAX, and then the other half has screen 4. And you know, sort of, if it's a fairly loud film, so obviously with Jurassic World being in the IMAX at the moment, you know, you do hear, you do hear a T-Rex above you, and you're like, oh. Well, that's obviously a dinosaur chasing someone or whatever. So, yeah. Like I say, I gave the two people that did my compliance work a generous 8 out of 10, because there was only one bit that they really got wrong. They put a few things in places that I wouldn't put them, but I was fine with that. So with our popcorn stuff, it says on the guide, only scan in the bits of paper, the bits of the book on the days for the popping checklist where you've actually used it. And they did all of it, so I rescanned that and redid it all. But no, they did very well. The manager and the team member that did incredibly well. I was very chuffed. So that way, you know, I know that it's going to be in safe hands. But when I'm not there, you know, I will be honest, I was expecting the compliance paperwork to be a lot worse than it was. But no, it actually, it was very good, which is why I gave them an 8 out of 10, because, you know, the manager and the team member that helped him with it, they split the paperwork in half. So one did half and then the other did half, which I'm like, you know, fair dues, you know, if you're not used to doing it, you know, fair dues. But hey, I do it in about 2 hours just by myself. And apparently they were on it the whole day. So I was kind of like, hee hee. No, as I've got more comfortable with the new system of how we're storing our documents and stuff, I have got more confident with it. But yeah, it was, oh god, was mayhem. So I should also probably, actually no, if I finish the weekend and then I can backtrack a bit. So on, oh, what day was it? Saturday came around. I was on the ice cream stand. It was really hot, and yeah, a lot of people were obviously asking for ice creams. I was all in my costume, so I actually dressed up as a character who has been introduced in the new sort of Jurassic World franchise, Claire, who originally was the park manager. I took her look from the second Jurassic World film, Fallen Kingdom, which, you know, I think I pulled off very well. However, my my over shirt did get drenched in the syrup that we use for the milkshakes, because a lot of people were asking for milkshakes, which, you know, was great. Well, great for them, but not great for me, you know. And I also had a customer who decided he wanted to hate my life by asking for a 3-scoop chocolate in a cone. So I gave him a waffle cone, because I was like, yeah, no, I'm not putting that in a regular cone, because I will break the cone. And also, you ask this at any employee at the place that I work, we all hate scooping the chocolate. It is honestly the most difficult flavour to scoop. It is just, oh, it is horrible. It is that bad. So, yeah. As a result of doing that 3-scoop, I shot my wrists out. So, until 5 years ago, I was actually a gymnastics coach. And I love doing that. But after years of lifting girls who didn't have sort of the correct build, shall we say, my wrists have gotten a lot weaker than they probably should be. And as a result, if I'm on the ice cream stand for too long, and so sort of if they put me on sort of like 3 shifts, so if they put me 3 shifts straight on the ice cream stand, my wrists would completely give up, basically. I've only had it a handful of times, but it's just taken its toll. And yeah, if I over scoop or anything, so like on hot days on summer, so like today basically, my wrists usually go a little bit like, nope, no. They will generally start to protest. So, yeah. Yeah, so, that was my Saturday, making loads of milkshakes. Also, the person who had closed on the Friday, she hadn't, I don't know how she was allowed to go home, because she left the ice cream stand in a state. I mean, it was disgusting. It looked like there were bits that hadn't been cleaned. She hadn't cleaned the blender, microwave. It honestly just looked like a bomb had hit it. So when I had 5 minutes to myself, just after the doors had like opened, I basically blitzed that area. I was just like, I'm just going to clean this area and I'm going to make it look better than when I walked in. And yeah, I think I did a reasonably good job. But yeah, I was not happy. Also, I found that the cleaning chemical we used, someone had, the person I think probably from the previous night had mixed it too strong. So it was a deep purple instead of a very, very pale purple. Which I was not happy about, because when we first got our chemical, the chemical that we use now, people were making it too strong, and people actually got severe allergies to the point that I know we had at least one person have to wear gloves when he used it. And I must say, I was absolutely terrified when we first got it, because my asthma had recently come back. So yeah, I was terrified that it was, you know, going to possibly do something worse than, you know, what the chemical, the PTC that we used to clean the popper had done. So yeah. So yeah, that was fun, and I did say to people, you know, please don't, this can get extremely dangerous. So yeah, I did lay into people, and also my manager Ben asked to see the photos of how disgusting and untidy Baskins was. I mean, there was just, ugh. There, like, not even the utensils had been cleaned properly. It was that bad. It was that bad. It was, ugh. I was not exactly very happy having to sort of do what a closer does. And yeah, I just am like, whoever the closing team were last night, the previous night, I thought, I don't know how you allowed the closer to go home, but I certainly would have been like, yeah, you are re-cleaning this whole area again. And if they sort of tried to kick up a stink because this person has gone on student leave at the moment because they are moving accommodation. But no, if I was the team leader and they said, oh, but I'm going on this time, I'd be like, you are basically going to have to re-clean this until I'm happy with it, because honestly, the way it was left, I thought there is no way that they should have been sent the closer home. I was very, very angry. And yeah, I haven't heard anything from Ben about the images that I sent, but most likely he probably ripped into the closing team and gave them a new one, basically. And when Ben gets mad, he gets mad. You don't want to see Ben when he's mad. I've been in the office when he's been mad at team leaders and yelled at them. I'm like, whooshoo. But he is a very good manager. He's great. Like I say, he's probably one of the best managers that I have ever had. But no, I'll go to the last, my last working day, so Sunday. and I was actually closing. I was closing the floor area, and there was some sort of issue with our booking, whereas the site had put our last screening of Jurassic World as a 3D IMAX showing. So what it had done is it had charged them for a standard 2D ticket, but yeah, it had just said that it was IMAX 3D. So yeah, they didn't have to pay any sort of additional cost, because yeah, it had charged them the correct amount for a 2D showing, and yeah, we had, you know, we had a few people sort of ask about it, and most of them were fine, except this one lady. I'm pretty sure she was French. We're going to call her the French Karen. We're going to call her Karen. And so she had come into the... She was waiting to get, you know, seen. She was in the queue waiting to get her ticket scanned through with her husband and her son. And, you know, she decided that, you know, she said, oh, well, you know, I've paid for a 3D IMAX, but I've got here and I found out it's actually 2D. And I just turned and said, you know, what we had been asked to do. I said, you know, I said what our manager had asked us to do. So I just said, oh, look, I'm really sorry about that. There was an error on our site. So it says it's a 3D, but you have actually paid for a 2D. So yeah, you don't have to pay anything more. You know, you have paid for a 2D viewing of this film. Yeah, it's just a fault on our website, and she was not getting this through her head that it was a fault with our system. And she said, well, she was like, well, I've paid for this service that you provide. Sorry, I'm doing a really crap accent, but I said a naughty word. I can actually blame probably my 2 days in London for that. Like I say, I'll get onto that, my 2 days in London, at the very end of this film. At the very end of this film, hold on, I'm not at work. At the very end of this, oh, Rachel's on commercial break. I'm going to take these off briefly. So yeah, I just explained, look, you have paid for a 2D, it was just a fault on our system. And she was just like, look, I paid for this service, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, kept explaining exact same thing, saying it was a fault on our system. You haven't been charged for a 3D showing, you've been charged for a standard 2D. And she just was not getting this through her head. And, you know, her son and her husband were like talking, going, you know, it's fine, it's a fault on the system. You know, they obviously understood, but she just could not get this through her mind. And like was saying, and she was like saying, well, how are you going to make sure this doesn't happen again? I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, you know, her husband like says something to her in her language. And then she started going, don't make me scream. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, this person. And I just explained, look, I can give you a refund, but that's all I can do, I'm afraid. Like I say, you have just been charged for standard 2D, and she was like saying, I want to see this in IMAX 3D, and it's like, I'm sorry, but it's not programmed like that. It's just like, oh, and while she kept going on, all I could think is, I can't just snap my fingers and magically make the film IMAX 3D. It's just, it doesn't work like that. It's a lot more complicated. But I'm not going to bore you or with all that complicated stuff, because it can get quite complicated. So I think that it's probably best that I spare you all that. And, you know, I kept saying the same thing, and she was like, right, I'm going to watch my film, and when I come out, I want to speak to someone. Now, I know the reason why she was having a go at me is because I'm very tiny, and they think they can intimidate me because I'm tiny and I look young. And all I think in the back of my mind, when people decide they want to scream at me, I'm thinking, you're picking at the wrong person here. You are currently trying to intimidate a person who had 5 parents gang up on her at one point when she taught gymnastics. Yeah, no, don't do that. I'm not afraid. It's mad. It's crazy. And she was just like, I want to speak to someone. So I warned my supervisor, and I also warned my manager, saying, look, we're going to possibly get a woman who's really mad. She basically just said, I want to speak to someone when I get out. And so I braced them, and I was fully expecting her to sort of go to a till, speak to a TL, and be like, I want a full refund. However, by the time the film finished, I could think, it's honestly, all I was thinking is, she's going to demand a refund. And we're just going to be sitting there like, yeah, no, we don't have any tills on because we have to be out at a certain time. We have to stop serving when the last film goes in, because we're not allowed to serve after a certain time unless we get our license extended. So yeah, but no, it was so funny because when it came out, I actually came off my last break when they left, and I stayed in the clocking area because I was like, I'm not bloody dealing with you. I can't be bothered to deal with you again tonight. And it's like, after 11 o'clock, I do not have the gall or the patience to deal with you again. And guess what? She didn't demand anybody. I'm hoping that because her family understood this was a fault, not human fault, that, you know, there was nothing she could do. Which, you know, I do feel a little bit smug about. Can't lie. But, you know, Karens will be Karens. There will always be Karens in the world as long as we live, unfortunately. I've been listening to a lot of, like, malicious compliance stuff and entitled people. And, like, things like, I don't work here, lady. I love listening to, like, YouTube videos and stuff like that. I always find them funny. I'm like, oh my gosh. Seriously? Talking like that? Oh, jeez. It's so hot. But, yeah, no. I reckon she was probably waiting for me to come out so she could launch on me. But, yeah, I was just like, yeah. You are really stupid, and, yeah. Sometimes the way that customers talk to you, I think, I don't get paid enough. And, I mean, there were customers behind her when she was, like, after her tirade, and she walked in, and she went into the IMAX to see her film. I don't know why there's a dog barking. I think, like, my next door neighbours have got a new dog or something. Because I've heard a dog, because I went to put pressure, like tyre pressure in my tyres today. And yeah, I was filling it up, and there was just a dog barking while I was filling them up. Like, he wasn't happy that I was filling up in my... Okay, I think that's a cat in there. Oh, also, probably because Rachel's back, that's why. So, yeah, but they were like, you explained that to her perfectly well. You know, I don't get why she was so mad. You explained it was a technical fault. You know, it wasn't your guys' fault. And I was going, I know. And, you know, I made sure she was, like, away. And I said, you know, I don't know what she expects me to do. Just snap my fingers and suddenly it's IMAX 3D. But, yeah, it was pretty crazy. But, oh, it was fun crazy. So, yeah, after the close, it was a friend of mine's, actually. No, so about 11 o'clock, a friend of mine left work for the last time because they're leaving for a new job. And I was really sad. We both cried, saying goodbye, like, me and him. I just, like, he's a great friend. His girlfriend is Savannah. So I'm pretty sure I've mentioned both Kieran I know I've definitely mentioned Savannah but I'm not sure if I've mentioned Kieran. I'm pretty sure I have. But no, yeah, it's actually Kieran's leaving drinks tonight. But yeah, no, I was the third person he met. Oh. I said where I work, whoops. I was the third person, sorry, that he met at the cinema. Which was really, you know, really quite emotional. And yeah, he was trying not to, you know, he was just being really blubbery. Like, you know, I knew I was going to cry, but I didn't quite realise, you know, how emotional it would be. And I had the two girls that I was closing with, like, are you alright? And they would just be really supportive and everything, which was really nice. Yeah, but like I say, it's Kieran's leaving drinks tonight. So, yeah. I'll be having some nice drinks. Well, I will be having a drink today. Yeah, which will be quite nice for me. You know, there was no way that me and Josh weren't going to his leaving drinks. But yeah, it'll be sad, but no, Savannah is, you know, I've still said to Savannah, you know, or if you wanna, you know, come back as a bridesmaid at any time, you know, just let me know before this time and then we can sort things out. And she was like, yeah, I don't know my new schedule at the moment, so the moment I know and the moment it's like already, I will let you know. And yeah, which I thought, okay, that's great. So yeah, she still finds it too much, then it's, you know, that's fine. I'll just go down to 3 bridesmaids. So yeah. Sorry guys, I'm already getting like really emotional just remembering that last shift. So we had like a really, really big hug, and yeah. Yeah, I just miss him. And I've got him a really nice card as well. It's got a little bit of a joke on it, so, which I knew he'd appreciate. But yeah, I'm gonna miss him so much. So yeah, that was that. Then on, okay, Monday, bless me. I went riding as usual. Sally at the moment is currently, she's somewhere in Germany. Don't ask me where, I can't remember where. She's somewhere in Germany. So I've currently got a substitute instructor at the moment. Don't worry, it isn't the same one that tried to change my seat and everything. Thank God. Yeah, no, I've had this person before. She's taken me for stuff before, so, you know, I know what this person is like. Really good teacher, and my ankle was killing me. I kid you not, my ankle was killing me on Monday. So I just said, you know, I know we're meant to be having a jump lesson, but is it okay if we do a lunge lesson? And she was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be great. So she checked the rules on lunge, and she was like, yep, let's get the lunch. It was popcorn. Of course it was. But it was so cute when I came into the yard, because Popcorn, bless his cotton socks, was just like, he had his little head out of the stall and was like, you're back. He like looked really happy. He's like, I missed you last week. But no, we had a really good lesson. We really improved, you know, my seat, and, you know, the instructor was like, you know, saw just our chemistry and was like, he's really good with you. And I was like, yeah. And at one point we were doing circles. So another thing we did is we actually focused on breathing. That was really interesting, actually, to see how your breathing affects your riding. And actually the horse, when I noticed that there was one point that I kind of did get in a little bit of a flurry, and he came off a circle that we were doing, so I just reined him back, and then I just got back onto my breathing, and he was like, and he just like, okay. But oh, Popcorn's just a gem. And, you know, there's one rein where, you know, it's the right one, I think it's the right one, but it doesn't, that he's not, you know, that isn't his preferred one, that he can sometimes, no, it's my left, no, it's his preferred rein, where he sometimes does ignore your foot. But because he knows of the injury that I have, he knows there's something wrong with that ankle, he's actually really good. He is really, really good. I don't have to, like, kick him hard. It's just, I can give him just a gentle sort of little knock, or I can give him a little tickle with my long crop, and he's just like, oh, okay. He's just lovely like that. He's so forward, he's so responsive, and oh, he's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't he? Just a gem. But no, he was really good on the lunge. I'd never, so obviously when you start a lunge lesson, you obviously start with yourself as the rider off. And so the instructor warmed them up on the lunge, and she actually hadn't lunged any horses, I think it was, since her previous horse had died. Which I was like, oh. So, yeah. And then Popcorn was just, like, really good on the lunge. Just watching him on the lunge, I was just like, oh my gosh. And he just like had like one of his little eyes on me, like when he was coming round. He's just, oh, sorry, I'm getting weepy now because I love him. I love little popcorn. But no, I said at one point, I wonder what would happen if, say, I gave him, like, with nothing done to it, I just gave popcorn. I'd like to see his reaction. Like, what is this? What is this fluffy thing? What is this fluffy, crunchy thing? I like popcorn. It's you. What? I'm eating myself? But no, he's a very switched on horse. He is a very switched on horse. He knows exactly where, he knows exactly, he's very, very aware, like I say, and, he can be quite cheeky sometimes, but it's like the fact that I've had him for like a month or so, probably longer, probably nearer 2 months actually, at this point. Oh my gosh, my camera is a really weird position. I'm sorry if you got a little bit sick at the angle that I had. But no, I think you can probably tell that I haven't really worked on this kit since I did my WIP and Chat last week. But oh well, I don't mind. You don't mind. So yeah, he was like just keyed in, ready to work, I know when he's had a busy sort of weekend, because he will be a little bit slower and a little bit like, oh gosh, do we have to do this? And I have to be a little bit more forceful on him, but genuinely once he gets going, he's normally fine. It's like with him I don't excuse me, I don't really need a whip with him, to be honest. Ooh. But no, that was Monday. So Tuesday and Wednesday, this is my busy weekend. This is my busy weekend. This is my busy 2 days up in London. So so you've probably seen from the video of this WIP and Chat who we went to see, but in case you're sort of not sort of thinking, who's this in the photo? I have to do this. I've been wanting to do this all stream. Me and my mum, finally after like 2 years, so I bought these tickets as my mum's Christmas present. We went up to see Queen and Adam Lambert. And oh my gosh, it was the most incredible, probably the best like Queen and Adam Lambert concert that we have been to. The first one was incredible. Sorry, I'm just going to move you down. But this one was, it was incredible. It was just like crazy. And I loved it. They did like so many favorites. So they did things like Seven Seas of Rye, Lap of the Gods. What else did they do? Now I'm Here, Hammer to Fall. Obviously they did like the favourites like Another One Bites the Dust, We Are the Champions, Don't Stop Me Now, Somebody to Love, Radio Gaga. Of course, I love the story behind Radio Gaga, but it was just, the atmosphere was just amazing. Oh, they also did It's a Kind of Magic as well. Oh, that's great. Oh, what else do they do? Bicycle Race they did, with a very interesting lyric change. Sorry that I've stopped diamond painting. I'm just like I'm now getting I'm now just like reliving it and thinking, oh my gosh, this was like an incredible concert. And I mean, it really was phenomenal. It was, oh, it was just great. Now, on the previous times that we've seen Queen, not attempts because we've seen them 3 flipping times, we've like been near the end of the catwalk. So they have the main stage and they have like a catwalk that they come out on. And normally like we've been sort of at one side of that. But this time we were still sort of, I'm gonna cover this because I can tell I'm not going to do it anymore. We were sort of near the center of the catwalk, but also sort of near, we were sort of on the catwalk, but we were close enough to the main stage that we could get a really good view as well. And oh my god, we were so close and got probably one of, I think it was probably the closest we'd ever been. And like I say, I've never, in the 3 times that we've gone to see Queen, I had never, ever got any good views. Any good pictures, sorry, of the drummer, Roger Taylor. And this time I got some blooming incredible shots of Roger Taylor. And it's kind of like, you know, if this is the last time that Queen ever tour, okay, that's great. You know, I've got some phenomenal shots of all of them, you know. In the sort of the other 2 times that I've seen them, it's always been, you know, I've always got phenomenal shots of Adam and Brian, because the original bassist John Deacon, when Freddie died, he was like, that's it. I don't wanna sort of do these songs with anyone else apart from Freddie, which is completely, you know, that's completely understandable. And the great thing is that if you ever get the chance to see Adam Lambert and Queen, Adam never tries to be Freddie. He never ever tries to be Freddie. And he's always like, you know, the best part is that I just get to come up here and I get to celebrate Freddie. And we all get to celebrate together. And that's all that he's honestly about. He just wants to celebrate Freddie and commemorate it. It's just, honestly, it's amazing. You know, I have got into arguments with die-hard Queen fans saying, get rid of him, he's too much, like, he's trying to be Freddie. And I've, like, clapped back saying, no. and they'll just be like, yeah, I can't wait for them to get somebody else so that we can go see them again. And then I'm like, yeah, if you've actually seen any of their interviews that they've said for the last decade that they've been with Adam, I couldn't quite believe that it has been a whole darn decade that they've been performing together. I really couldn't. They've said that once Adam calls it quits, or like one of them can't perform anymore, you know, that's it. They've said that they will not work with anybody else except they've said that with Adam they won't work with anyone else now. They've said that very clearly. And you know, yes, there are some similar things that Adam does with Freddie, you know, that are similar to Freddie, but he never tries to like copy him. And you know, it's one incredible song that he does is that Adam does, that me and my mum, we were talking about this, and this is just mine and my mum's opinion. Who Wants to Live Forever? Adam brings something to that song that's just so raw and so genuine. And me and my mum were talking about it, and we were saying, you know, there is only one Freddie Mercury. But this is just in mine and my mum's opinion, so please don't, like, come screaming at us. Don't come screaming at me. But me and my mum were saying that we think that Adam does Who Wants to Live Forever better than Freddie did. And it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just something. It's just something in the way he delivers it. And it's, I'll probably insert a few like videos of them so you can see, you know, what I'm talking about. Obviously they did like Bohemian Rhapsody, as I said, Who Wants to Live Forever, I Want It All, Under Pressure they did, Roger and Brian, they had they often like do a bit that's, you know, they will have their sort of 2 solo songs. So Roger actually did they did like a medley thing at the beginning, and one of the songs they did was Roger's song that Roger sang, obviously, that was I'm in Love with My Car. And you know, it's not one of my favourite songs, and originally Queen's original manager, I have forgotten his name, wanted to switch that out. It wanted to put I'm in Love with My Car as the single rather than Bohemian Rhapsody because of how long it was. But it's kind of like, looking back, it's like, yeah, you could never do that. Looking back, you know, Freddie was, you know, right all along, and he knew he was. So, yeah, it was amazing. Brian, you know, he always does Love of My Life, and I always cry. I don't know what it is. I think it's because he always has sort of at the end a hologram of Freddie on the screen will come, and so obviously one of you know, Freddie's old, you know, previous, you know, performances from the past, you know, of him singing that song live. You know, Brian will play the guitar, and Freddie's like the image of him performing at the end will come in at the end, and it's lovely. And I always cry at that song, and I think it is. There are two reasons why I think I cry at that song. So the first one is when I went to see Queen for the first time ever at Nottingham in, when was it? 2015, I think it was. I think it was 2015. Where Freddie Mercury's late mother was there. And it was like, oh my gosh, you birthed that legend that is Freddie and who we're all here for. Which, is great, but it's also, I think, the fact that, Brian performs with like that hologram on a screen with Freddie performing. And usually the second song he always like mixes it up. It's not always like the one that he performed was 39. That was it. He performed 39, which was really great. I do like that song. And 39 actually Freddie wrote for Mary. It's nicknamed Mary's Song. Mary was his ex that he was with before he found out that, before he really sort of discovered he was, gay. And, and then after Brian had done those two songs, then Roger came up for his second solo, which he always does, which is Days of Our Lives. Now, I was, again, bawling my eyes out with this song. Because the song Days of Our Lives was played at my uncle's funeral, so obviously it was a bit like, oh my god. And then him and then after that, Adam comes on in a kilt, a bloody glittery kilt, and in Adam's words, he said, "You're gonna go home tonight," and say Adam was wearing a dress, and you can tell them, you can say that, and you'll be saying, "God, he killed it." So yeah, it's just a really fun evening. Very emotional for me, obviously, and my mum. But it was just really nice because with Days of Our Lives, it had the memories, photos of Freddie in the past. But, love it. In the comments, let me know what your favourite, if you like Queen, let me know what your favourite Queen song is. And have you ever seen Adam Lambert? Or if you're a little bit older, did you ever see Freddie and Queen? Because, yeah, it was just, oh my gosh, it was just beautiful. I can't even, describe what an amazing night that was. But yeah, like I say, I am going to probably pop some videos of the night in here. So that, you guys can all have a laugh and, sing along for a bit. I obviously did the classic Bohemian Rhapsody, so I will probably insert that. I'm definitely gonna you know, insert, you know, a lot of the favourites and stuff. I will warn you, you will have to put up with my terrible singing, because everybody was obviously singing, and obviously when you're in a crowd like that, you can't, you know, you can't hear your own voice, you can't hear yourself sing, and yeah, it's just phenomenal. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, consider subscribing, leave a comment if you would like, and yeah, I will see all of you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye!